This is DJ Rubbish on the ones and twos. And I just come here to let y'all know it's about to get real filthy in this mother.
Tell them otherwise if someone ever were to come up to me and assume that I was famous. I'll make something up. So
how does this work? Is this like a 3, 2, 1 action stitch, or do we just?
No, we're recording.
Oh, we're going for it.
We
are
going
here.
already.
Hello. Hi.
We're going for it. I just have to pull my notes up. That's literally
All right.
it.
I'm gonna pull my notes.
Oh, you have notes. That's right. You did take notes the other day.
Well, my notes. Literally, my first note was, first of all, this was such an Emmy movie. And then one of my notes said, "Knocked over by an Indian food truck."
Well, I'm glad we're off to a good start. Well, welcome everyone to episode 16 of ITWT We Trust. You can stream on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. YouTube videos go up on Saturday mornings. I'm sure this one will have a lot of funny screenshots from it. I have Emmy. If the intro is any indication of that, from the laughing in the intro. So I have Emmy Virkus here today.
Hello,
actually,
everyone.
Emily Virkus. Did not know that was your real name, as you know, until a couple months ago when I shot you a text.
You know.
When I was shocked.
I'm in alter ego mode right now. I got my blue light glasses on, and Emily is my sophisticated work mode name. So whenever I'm in the office, I'm Emily.
Wait, do they call you Emily at work?
They call me Emily at
Are
work.
you
They call me
serious?
Emily on LinkedIn, and Emily
That's where I saw that.
was
That's
my
exactly where I saw that.
grounded girl name as well back in the day. So.
Wow. Well, as promised, I actually need to grab out my bag. I did bring you some brunettes.
Oh,
for a shot. No, I'm kidding. I didn't bring it.
I was gonna say, where is my great brunette? You promised me a shot.
No, I'm kidding. No, I didn't actually bring it. Funny thing, I told Emmy, she asked me like if there was any like ritual or that the guests went through before they came up to like get amped up for the episode, and I was like, oh yeah, it's like everyone takes a shot and then a line of Coke, and she's like, oh, I'm all for the alcohol, but like I have to draw the line at drugs. I'm like, Emmy, I'm joking. Like did you think I was serious?
I honestly, I didn't know if
You
you
know-
meant it that way, or if you meant like a line, like kicking it off with like that typical line that you have like with like your background music and stuff. I didn't know what line of what you meant, so
Yeah.
I was just kind of going with it. But listen, honey, I'm an alcohol strictly kind of girl.
No,
so.
I was like, who do you think I am? Like that I do Coke.
You
like-
don't drink, but you just strictly do Coke.
Yeah, right. I wonder-
sober on the weekends, but Coke on the weekdays for Todd.
What if I like look down at people who drink alcohol, but then like I was just Coke every
Just like
day?
a straight up Coke guy.
That would be
Hey.
nice. There's probably something like that. I actually I forgot the swear jar. I meant to bring a swear jar for this episode.
Damn it.
Um, Yeah, for this episode specifically. But I will, because you
I'll
did
take
threaten
that.
you threatened to sabotage the podcast with swearing. So
Yeah,
I wanted
listen,
to
Todd
do
had
that.
his doubts about me being on this podcast. I told him that this was the perfect movie for me to review because any other movie just like would not have done it for me. I just think that this is the most Emmy movie you could get, and with that being said, I just think that
We'll see. I agree.
I need to cuss my way through it so that
Yeah.
he has to edit it for 10 hours. So.
Yep. So I mean, we'll see. TBD, because the episodes are starting. Little background on Emmy. She's an MSU tennis legend.
Caused a racket.
Oh no.
Do you have like
Oh, no.
any
I don't have sound
background
effects. I
noises?
might have to grab
No sound
them. I
effects.
mean, you know what? That might be part of my editing.
There's a
Maybe I'll
guitar
put-
right there. Is
Yeah.
there any drum set? Any drum sets?
Oh my
nearby?
gosh. I actually, I almost came to one of your meets or matches.
Gymnastics meet.
Yeah,
Same
but
thing.
same
No.
difference. I almost came to one with Bree one time, but it was like before I knew you really. Like I think I had met you, but didn't really know you. And she's like, "Oh, I'm going to this thing. You want to go?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll go." And then I ended up like backing out for whatever reason.
You know what you would have missed out on, Todd? A whole lot of sitting
Yeah.
from this girl. Passing water and sitting and cheering, but
Yeah.
would have been very nice.
And that's what everyone was like. Emmy, like, honestly sucks. You probably shouldn't go. And I was like, okay, thank you for the
They're
heads
not
up.
wrong.
So yeah.
Not far off
So
stage.
shout out to those people who give
Had
me
so
advice
much
to stay
faith in
home.
me.
Yeah. Also, Emmy followed me. I didn't pick up on the trend until a couple weeks ago. Really, I just started thinking about it. Emmy followed me when I moved to Chicago.
That's right.
A few months later, she moves to Chicago. So then, in an attempt to really just a new job, wanting to leave Chicago, really didn't think much about it, left and went to Detroit. Then here she comes again. A couple months later, Emmy follows me to Detroit. So now I know it's a pattern, and now I'm just being really hush-hush with my next moves so that Emmy does not.
You know, it's funny, Todd, because I went to Chicago strictly with no job, no plan, no housing, no roommate, no anything. I was like, Todd is coming to Chicago, so I have to be there. I almost called you Todd Burnett, like the Burnett's that you didn't bring me. Todd Burnett.
Todd Burnett.
Almost just followed you right back for no reason as well. But, you know, at this time I had a job, so.
Yeah. So it looks
Good
more
to go.
legit this time.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like you're
I had
following.
planned.
Yeah.
Back to the D I go.
So so on to the next city, wherever that is. This movie came out on Valentine's Day, or the day before Valentine's Day. Did you have any exciting Valentine's Day plans?
You know, I did. I did not for a second, but I did. So what we did on Valentine's Day is we watched, I have two roommates, Olivia and Lauren, and we all watched, God, they're going to kill me. I don't even know the name of this movie. It's a very kind of artsy, oh, hi, how are you?
We have a visitor. We have someone outside the
Someone's
window.
just smiling and waving, which is just so great. Now I can't focus because now she's staring and smiling at us. How do we get her to go away? Isn't it he or
just
she?
don't, I'm not looking.
The he, she is
I'm
not leaving
looking.
anytime soon. I need to just look at this nice guitar set on the wall. But anyway, so Lauren and Olivia are my roommates, and we watched a very artsy movie that they were cracking up about because they proposed it to me to watch on Valentine's Day, and they're into that kind of thing, and I'm not typically. So they were like, "Listen, we really want to watch this. We think you love it, whatever." So it was the movie about the boy. Oh God, this was just like nominated for a lot of awards. It's so bad that I don't know this time. Oh my God, it's about a boy, and he lives in Italy, and they had a boy come stay with them for some sort of schooling. I don't know if he was a foreign exchange student necessarily, but like he was staying with their family, like kind of like one of those exchange programs.
Yeah.
And so he was staying with them, and then they fall in love, and meanwhile, this guy is, I think he has like an ex-girlfriend, and she's kind of like in the picture, but not really anymore. But then eventually he goes back to the ex, but he's like in love with Timothy Chalamet, that movie. You don't know what I'm talking about either. Great.
No.
Well, anyway, we watched that movie, and we had Chinese food, and we pounded it like the bitches we are, and we were single, and we were sweaty.
Nice.
We had
Sweaty?
the
Why
meat
are you sweaty?
sweats. We had the meat sweats to the sesame chicken.
Wait, I'm sorry. Is that the
chicken.
thing? Is that a
The
thing?
meat sweats, yeah. I think Fat Amy has them, which we're gonna get to in this movie. Her name's not even Fat Amy in this movie.
The meat sweats. I've never heard of that before.
You've never heard of the meat sweats.
I'm probably never
the
gonna
meat
use
sweats.
it either.
You get nervous, you get excited over the meat that is about to be presented to you, and you get sweaty. You get real sweaty over Todd. So.
Oh man. Well, I'm glad you had a good Valentine's Day.
Yeah. What'd you
That's
do?
awesome. I went to Chipotle.
Yeah, doesn't shock me. That's your one true love.
It
That
is.
and
It is.
fitness.
That's what makes me happy. Honestly, food and honestly running. I love running.
I was
so
gonna
it's,
say
it's
fitness,
weird that
there you
those
go.
two are the. It's funny that those two. It helps because if I didn't like running, then I'd be in a bad
I was
position.
gonna say the one running event that you did was with me in Chicago.
Oh, that's
when I
right.
followed you to Chicago, right?
That's right. Yeah. So yeah, Emmy followed me to Chicago. I decided to do the Big 10K. She followed me to the Big 10K.
Shut up! I decided to do the Big 10K. And this was after we moved back to Detroit. This is all a lie.
So no, I decided to go do the Big 10K, and it's funny because I had heard Emmy actually told someone previous to me going that she had no interest in going. Then she found out I was going, and then she sneaks in, hurry up and reaches out to see if she can register last minute. and then does the Big 10K.
This is
So,
not how it went
moving
at all.
on.
No. This is how it happened. Todd was being sober in his great Todd self at my pregame that I was having at my house. And of course I was a couple drinks deep, not Burnett drinks because I'm not a 15-year-old anymore. But we were at my house
15.
hosting our pregame, and suddenly I'm just talking to Todd about going to Chicago to see our dear friends in Chicago still because we hated Chicago so we left it. But, you know, near and dear people that still live in Chicago of ours love it. So great. So we still need to go visit them. And so I was like, by the way, what about, yeah, seriously, what about while we're in the Windy City, we just make it an even worse time. I'm just kidding. But why don't we just like go do this like Big 10K? You know, we both haven't been athletic in a minute. I know you had your I Am Sport days. I had my benching days. But like, let's just go run. let's just go run. Like, let's go run this. We'll have fun. We'll hold hands and skip it, and we'll get the cool shirt.
And we did. That we did.
Yeah, we did.
It was a good time. I'll probably do it again this year. If I don't have any other plans, I really want to focus on 5Ks. I want to like kill some 5Ks.
Well, they do have the 5K version too. So
Well,
if you
I-
want to be like a little bitch about it, do the 5K. Fine, I'll be skipping into Lake Michigan and doing the 10K. And
That's the only
drowning
issue,
during
right?
it.
Like, because the 10K is offered, I feel like a loser if I do the 5K. So I just need to go. I need to find one of those things that's it's a walk, but you can also do a 5K. So then I'm at the top tier. Like I don't want to be the bottom tier.
I know. I've thought about that too. It's like, do I want to come out on top with the shittier race, or do I want to,
Right.
like fall back on the end tier? In the
I also
longer
feel
one?
like I have a better chance of beating you in the 5K.
That's probably true. It's probably
Yeah,
true
the 10K
because I feel like you're
the
more of a
10K.
sprinter.
Yeah, no, definitely more of a sprinter. The 10K was not my cup of tea in terms of like being competitive. I enjoyed it. I just wasn't that competitive.
I'll never forget when you got the picture from like the Big Ten people.
I'm like, why did they send that?
Do you know what I'm about to say?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Do we want to share?
You can share it. You can definitely share it.
Todd sends me the picture, like the official like racer photo that you get. It has like your time and your freaking heart rate and all this stupid dumb details that no one really cares about. But especially if you're like toward the end, like we were. But
100%.
anyways, he gets his picture and. Like it's kind of exciting to get the picture because you're like, is this like Insta worthy? Is it like cool enough to put
Right.
anywhere? Do I just like frame it for my mom?
Right.
Like, what do I do with
That's
it?
literally
Like,
half
or is it just
the
gonna
thought
sit in my
process.
inbox? Yeah.
Right.
So like, all this is going through your mind. Of course, like I'm looking like a freaking hefty, Fat Amy Chipotle burrito in mine. Like I'm getting meat sweats in mine. I'm like dragging to the floor, so mine sucks. So that's out. Then Todd sends me his, and Todd, I'm like, oh boy, like here we go. What's this gonna be like? Todd sends me his, and you looked really good. Like you looked
Thank
really
you. I
buff
didn't-
and
I didn't
athletic,
think I
and
did.
like your face was like a little shaky there, but
Yeah,
you looked like
you
you were
know,
about to pass out, but like you looked good.
I
So
did.
like
It was intense.
it's all about
there.
the bod. Like I ixnayed for the bod and the face. Like you got the bod down, but face not so much. But anyways, he compared himself. If I'm giving the exact wordage, we don't text very much, so maybe I could just like pull the text. But anyway, it was something along the lines of like the guy from Get Out when he's running after the family.
That's what I look like, because it's me, and then there's like 5 white people behind me, and I look like significantly further. And my face, again, like Emmy said, my face just looks so distraught, like in pain.
Oh
so
my
it looks like I'm
God.
running away from them, and I'm like Big Ten.
I mean, you kinda
don't
were away.
don't send me this again. Like that was
a ballsy pick on Big Ten's part, I gotta
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, they
like
gotta-
a literal pick.
They
But
need
like
to, yeah, right.
choice, I guess.
They
is
need
what
to
I mean.
screen those. They
Yeah.
definitely need to screen those.
It's
So
a good
yeah,
one.
that was it. So yeah, so we definitely had some good times. Had some good road trips. For whatever reason, our road trips, the 2 that we've taken together, always include Culver's. That's always one of the
Culver's,
stops,
man.
and the excitement around it is just crazy because I do enjoy
There's another guy
Culver's.
smiling.
Yeah, so we have another guy that's
Oh,
standing
happy
outside the
people
podcast.
on
Yeah,
Wednesday.
we were really excited about Emmy being here.
I know.
The word got
They're
out.
happy.
So yeah, we whenever we take these road trips, Culver's is always like a key like stoppage. I don't know why. Like I don't get more excited than I do on these road trips.
It has
stop
to
at
be Culver's too. It can't be any other fast food chain. And I work.
Yeah.
I don't work for McDonald's, but I work. That's a whole separate story. If Todd wants to have me back on the podcast, he can. But
Probably not.
I assist McDonald's in my daily
I
job. We'll
assist
put it like that.
McDonald's.
So, anyways, even with that being said, I am still Team Culver's. I am a Culver's girl.
Yeah.
That,
And so I have to
whatever
blow your
it
cover.
is.
So Emmy is Ronald McDonald and Royal McDonald's.
Rip off all my
So-
clothes and I'm actually Ronald McDonald.
Yeah.
Full disclosure.
So she dresses up each week. She dresses up, and it's a thankless job. People don't realize that it can be
I
very
am
lonely as well.
Ronald.
But she's dedicated her life.
It's
to
funny because people dress up on Halloween, so like they would think I was Ronald on Halloween. But every other day of the year, I'm dressed up as Emmy. I'm actually Ronald.
Could you imagine if you what
If
you
I
would
just
look like
rip
if
off
you
my
like
mascara.
you got like a perm, so your hair is like really curly?
Why does it have to be a perm? Is his hair even curly? I don't know
His
the
hair's
last time
curly.
I've seen Ronald, advertised on any sort of McDonald's billboard or anything like that.
Yeah.
I think it's just like the iconic guy.
People
But
ask,
people make that
where
joke
is
all the time.
Ronald?
They're
But
like,
they
it's
don't
not
ask how
funny.
is Ronald.
I don't. No one asks about him. That is true. Don't ask about him. Just make fun of the poor guy. Like I don't know. I have this big picture of the Hamburger on my desk, and it kind of like peeks up from over my cube. So like if you're like half a mile away, you could like just see like the little Hamburger's goggles mask, whatever it is,
What?
just like peering over my desk.
That's great.
So that's pretty great. But yeah, I give him more attention than Ronald. And I don't know the other characters, so they're from like the 90s, right?
Yeah, I've always liked Grimace. No, the big
Grimace,
purple.
yeah. So my entire team was gonna actually be the cast. It's like a movie. The next podcast of Todd's is gonna be the McDonald's movie, but yeah, the next that entire cast is what we were gonna be for Halloween. So like I was gonna be the pigtail girl. I don't even know who's the. Oh, am I thinking?
Wendy's?
Is it?
No,
No. I'm thinking. No. Who's the pig with the pigtails? Am I thinking like Cookie Monster? Am I even like on the McDonald's grind anymore?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like the Cookie Monster and like all his little like
Sesame
Sesame
Street?
Street? Am I
Yeah,
thinking
Sesame
Sesame Street?
Street.
I don't even know anymore. This is wild. There's more people smiling at us out the window. Hello. Hi.
I'm telling you, I think it's the glasses.
I know.
See, aren't you happy I
think-
told you to wear the glasses?
I know. So Todd, funny story. Right before this, another funny story. If we ever even get to the movie reviewing, I was like, Todd, so like I'm wearing my blue light glasses. I pick them up because I don't know what the hell I'm doing in Detroit. I almost turned into Canada, so that almost put me in tears. But that's a whole separate thing as well. Pick up Todd, and I'm still wearing my blue light glasses from work. Blue light blocking glasses, which by the way, great health benefits. People, you should really invest in some. I know $10 on Amazon. Swipe up.
Oh, wow.
Anyways,
Swipe up.
so we are driving and finding a parking spot, and we're finally like getting all settled in, cozy. We're testing the mics and everything, and I was like, so like, should I keep these on for like the pod? Like, what do I do? And he was like, take them off. So like, okay, like I just thought he was gonna say it looked good, whatever. Makes me take them off, and he was like, put them back on. Because if I just like need a freaking mask for this piece, and then I told him my voice sounded weird, and he was like, yeah, like it couldn't sound better. I'm like, God damn it, Todd, I'm 0 for 2 with you. What did I do right for you? Man,
I didn't say it, but take them off. Like I sound like a creeper. Take them off.
Just like the Ronald McDonald costume. God, Todd.
Oh my
Take me on
God.
a date first. My theology.
Oh my God.
I feel like a DB continuing to like drink out of his water bottle. Like I'm so
Like, wow.
Just
hitting the mic, yeah.
But,
sorry for everyone
no.
who just hear.
I just need the
Amy
accessory.
using the mic.
Well, Todd abused my heart by not bringing me a Burnett's shot, so water it is.
Might be. I have to get to. Main reason I want to get to Chicago, I have to go to. I know I mentioned this to you the other day when we went to the movies. To Coley's class. I have to get to a core power class taught by Coley. I'm excited for that. As soon as she posted, I'm like, yeah, I have to see that class. Like, I'm picturing her when she dances. I'm sorry,
Oh my
Coley.
God.
But like, if you're watching, then you can see. If you're listening, you just have to imagine.
Especially a drunk
But
Coley.
like, Coley, her arms. That's always what like.
She's like a floppy noodle.
Like,
she
I don't-
Is
this is
gumpy,
like- I don't know.
She rocks it. She somehow looks good doing it. Backstory on Coley, by the way. So if you don't know Coley, she goes by her Insta handle, Coley Berry. I don't even know what it is anymore. But that was my roommate in Chicago, Nicole Berry.
She has
Great
her
friend of
middle
mine.
name in there now. That's why I
Great-
found out what her
Oh.
middle name was.
So you do some stalking on the girl,
I was-
don't ya? You knew that she updated that handle, didn't ya?
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Okay, so Nicole Marie Berry, yep, good friend of mine. She was my roommate in Chicago, and to say the least, her and I, first year in Chicago, she survived in Chicago another year. I did not. I made my way back here because, I followed Todd back, obviously. But her and I, what didn't go wrong for us? We both, at one point, we both hated our jobs. We got robbed, not both.
I
like,
remember
we were
that. I remember you all
cohesively
FaceTime
robbed.
me and were like, yeah, we were robbed.
Yeah,
I was like,
and-
wait, what?
well, 'cause it was the
you all were
weekend.
laughing. I'm like, are you serious? Are you
Because
joking?
it was so hysterically awful that it was just laughable. So I think MSU Northwestern
Yeah, I had
they
to
were
tell
in
you.
Evanston.
You
Yeah,
were calling me
that's
to tell
exactly
me that you all
why I
could
was
come to
FaceTiming
the
you. Yeah. So we indeed got robbed, and I really think people thought we were lying as like a cop out to not, go celebrate, or like I had other
Right.
plans or something. But my plans were with the banker trying to open up new accounts because Mama had her social security card, her passport, everything was everywhere.
Dang.
I mean, take my like shitty jewelry and my MacBook Pro from like 2012. I don't care, but when it comes to the money that
Yeah.
you were low on in Chicago, anyways,
Right,
that's
exactly.
why I put the snap in there.
Yeah.
When we were low on Chicago, anyways, yeah, it was scary,
Yeah, that
but
sucks.
we came out on top. It was all good, but yeah, that robbery kind of shook us for a bit, and then we had some insane spiders. I don't know if you remember the spiders. I don't know. I never went to your apartment in Wrigleyville, but those spiders, man, the bugs in the older buildings, they are massive.
Oh,
we
no.
had constant, constant freakouts, and like I would be brushing my teeth and I'd turn my head and there would be a spider literally, guys, you can't see, but like there's a guitar hanging on this wall that I keep referring to. Literally spiders the size of a average looking instrument. Like they were huge spiders, and they had like 57 legs on each side too. And they would sprint. I think I have a video on my phone actually of them, but it was like a joke how big they were. And so
I can't do spiders.
I would rather get robbed 57,000 times.
Like he knew us.
I know.
Like I'm
bringing on the crowd. I think we're gonna have like an audience here pretty shortly.
Right?
By these windows. I'm pretty flattered.
Wow.
I haven't even gotten warmed up yet, guys.
That is crazy. No. One other question I have to ask you, and then we can maybe talk. Actually, I have another story, and then we can talk about the movie. Have you listened to Casey Musgrave's album yet?
I haven't, and you've told me to do it. And so Todd apparently doesn't like country except for Casey Musgraves. I love country, and I don't know who that is. So it's one of those things where it's kind of like the Ronald flip-flop thing where I was saying I'm like only Emmy on the other 364 days besides Halloween, and then, or other way around, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm Ronald McDonald every other day besides Halloween. But
Yeah.
Point being, don't know who that is. Need to listen to her. I've heard great things.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Well, we'll have this conversation later then. Okay.
Yeah.
Other story I had to get out off my chest.
Sorry about that.
I'm sorry. I'm really emotional about this story because I was really upset about it, and I cannot remember.
Oh, no.
I really can't remember, and I didn't listen to the episode again today to refresh my memory if I talked about it in week's prior episode. But I went to.
I'm scared.
Me, Charlie, Dan, and Rachel all go to Sweetwater Tavern. Right? So, all right. So it's a wing place that's down here, right?
Oh, okay.
And I love them.
I was
I
like,
love
is this
Sweetwater.
like
Yeah,
nostalgic for me? Because I don't know
No.
what that
So
is.
we all go. It's right around the corner. So we all go to Sweetwater Tavern. I love their wings. So we go, and I've always wanted to try their apple pie with ice cream, right? So, but I always I always go like at lunch. I just never, or I haven't delivered, so I just never get it.
Mm-hmm.
So I go and I save room, like specifically. I didn't get fries because I was like, I'm gonna get this apple pie. So our waitress is just like, she was already like being like rude for no reason, and I'm always
I hate that.
I'm always nice to like
Hate
people
that.
who I'm always nice in general. Like I'm just not a rude person, but especially like at
Unless you're making fun of my glasses.
yeah, I'm
and
only
my
mean to my
voice.
friends.
Yeah.
Like if I'm
Fair
mean
enough.
to you, you know I'm friends with you. But like to strangers or to people who are doing a service for me, like I'm
Yeah.
super polite. So
Right.
obviously, so I'm
You're
especially
paying for the
when-
experience too. Like you're paying to be there and you're paying for the food, but you're paying to
You know?
have a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't be a
Good time.
dick, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. So especially when I'm like, and I'm like super nice to people who are handling my food because I don't know what you're doing with it, you know, behind the scenes.
That's true.
So I'm always like, if I'm with people who are mean to people while I'm getting food, I either won't get food or I'll be like, hey, like bring mine out. Like if you want to complain, wait till after my food comes out. So
Yeah.
anyway, I'm really nice to this lady. She's been rude the whole
Smart.
night. So we get to the end, and I'm like, certain restaurants, especially like you see this in like Chicago a lot, where if you're gonna get dessert, like give them a heads up before like you're ready to order it because it might take longer, especially like a pie or something like a dessert
Mhm.
that takes a while to bake. So I said, hey, what is what's usually like, how long does it usually take for like the apple pie to like I wanted to order some, but
Mhm.
just wanted to know how like long it takes. She was like, I don't know, I don't work in the kitchen, and I was like,
Oh, sassy. Mix
okay.
sassy.
I was like, okay. Like, and she was like, yeah, I don't work back there. Like, I have no idea. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's your
like,
job. Like it's your job to know those things and to like have those
and it wasn't a
answers.
crazy question. Like, I wasn't disrespectful. Like, I don't
It's
know.
not like you're
if
like,
you'll-
what degree is the pie being cooked at in the oven? Like,
right. What apples
what do you put in
use?
it?
Yeah.
Are they Honey Crisp? I'll draw the line if they're not.
I only eat cage-free apples. So she's like, do you want to put the order in? And I was like, no, don't worry about it. Because she was rude, I refused to give them more business.
Yeah.
But I was so upset
Fair.
because the rest of the night I wanted apple pie.
Do you want to get it after this? We can
Maybe.
go check it
I
out.
want apple pie so
It's
bad.
okay. I feel like I need to
Um,
hug you. Like, you're like tearing
I was,
up.
I was so
It's like the meat
upset.
sweats in your eye sockets. My golly gee.
I had the pie sweats, so I was so upset. But I just had to get that off my chest because I do love Sweetwater, and I'm not the type to be like I'm gonna protest them now because I still like I'm not gonna deprive myself of good food because I'm mad at like one person.
Mhm.
So I'm still gonna go there. I'm still gonna give them my business, but I just want that lady to know if she ever listens to this podcast, like
Screw her.
I'm upset with you.
Yeah.
I'm upset.
Oh,
So
and that's fair. And I think that's a very mature, respectful way to confront her.
yeah, yep, I'm upset.
Only-
on my
I'm
podcast that
upset.
you'll never hear. So,
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, get into the movie. See, I told you how you just start
just
talking
flows.
and it just exactly.
I know, I was telling Todd, I was like, I don't know if I have that much to say about this movie. It was pretty.
It's pretty. We'll get right to it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the description from IMDb was a young woman disenchanted with love, mysteriously finds herself trapped inside a romantic comedy. If you've seen the previews, it's Rebel Wilson, aka Fat Amy. I will only refer to her as Fat Amy throughout this because
Same.
that's just who she
I'm
is.
So glad we're on the same page because that was the first thing.
Yeah, I mean she's Fat Amy. Like she'll always be that.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
Her name's something so normal like Natalie in the movie.
Yeah. Same way like Rachel McAdams is like always gonna be Regina George. Like she's always Regina George. So
and Hermione, list goes on.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, if you've seen the previews, she's like super cynical about love. She's in the subway, hits her head on a pole as she's getting mugged, and when she wakes up, she's in this magical world that's very satirical to like romance movies. So they're like basically poking fun at all the like cliches in romance movies. It was released the day before Valentine's Day. Like I said, it has Rebel Wilson, who is Natalie in the movie, Liam Hemsworth, who is Blake in the movie, Adam Devine or Divine, however you say it, who is Josh.
That was
in the
Adam
movie.
Levine. I was like, wait,
Right.
like, at what point was he?
You're right.
I was looking at the cast when you sent me this Google Doc, and I was like, when was Adam Levine in this? I had to think for a second.
He was this guy he's the guy from he was also in Pitch Perfect.
I know, and it's funny because he's always, well, I'll let you like explain that part, but he's always in love with her with every single movie.
Right.
So it's like Adam loves Fat Amy. So I've never actually known his name. I've just known it like, oh, there's that asshole that loves Fat Amy. In every single movie.
No, I love him though. He's really funny.
Great.
He's also, what is he in the show? He's in a show that I can't remember the name of. It's really popular. It has a cult following, but I don't watch it. But I've seen a couple episodes. Anyway, if you know who I'm talking about, then you know the show that I'm talking about. Anyway, and then Priyanka Chopra, who is Isabella in the movie.
Is that the hot?
That's the one. Yeah,
Latina.
Who's married? No, is she?
No, Latina.
I don't know.
She's hot, regardless.
Yeah, she's very pretty. I think she's. I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and guess what she is.
Yeah, it's like very irrelevant.
Yeah,
honestly.
Anyway, writer for the movie was Aaron Cardillo, who also did Melissa and Joey. You know, actually, I'm doing this is really me what I'm about to do. I'm about to list the stuff that she's also written in that are whack things. Like she has some things that were like notable like things that she wrote for, but
I'm only gonna
list the whack ones. Melissa and Joey, Hawaii Five-0. Charlie's a huge fan of Hawaii Five-0 for whatever. In college, he used to always terrible. And the Sweet Life on Deck.
Like Sweet Life Zach. I was wondering what that was. I was like, wait.
The Sweet Life on Deck, where they're on a cruise.
Yeah.
Terrible. She was on the ride on that. So that just gives you like insight on this film.
So rude.
It was an hour and a half. So yeah. So starting off, do you have some initial thoughts that you want to get off your chest?
I was so excited to be on the podcast for this movie because the second we sat down, I started laughing. Like nothing had even played yet, and I was like, I know I'm gonna love this movie because initially I really didn't think I was going to. I heard really not great things. I don't know. On Tomatoes, it did like pretty decent. I think. I actually think it was like a 69%. Funny, but
that's not terrible.
You know it. Yeah, I know that they're harsh.
I just got it.
I know that they're like kind of harsh, but you know, I thought it was gonna suck. I thought it was gonna be really dumb, but I was excited because I mean, like I said, this is such an Emmy movie. I think it's not hard to make me laugh. I think everything is funny in general.
You were getting.
I'm very easily pleased, and it's funny because the guy I had like Todd next to me. I don't even watch The Office, but I always compare it to like the Kevin meme from The Office with like 57 chins, just like back in his chin, like laughing to himself. Like
Emmy was out of her seat at points.
Yeah,
like, she was levitated off of her.
It was. It really spoke to me. It took me out of my seat. But what I was gonna say is the guy I had Todd doing the Kevin from The Office laugh, like kind of like trying not to be as audible as I was about it, like keeping it to himself on my right. And then my left, I had a guy who was like clearly on a date with someone else, and him and I were kind of like feeding off each other's laughs. So like it was like one of those things where like bonding via laugh. I was like, are we like flirting? Like what's going on? But yeah, so me and like pretty much 95% of the other theater.
It was the theater was roaring. Yeah,
it was roaring. It was funny.
A lot of people were laughing. We actually did go to the wrong theater to start out. Our tickets were not. In our defense, our tickets were printed poorly. Like the ink was definitely low, so we went to the wrong theater that we sat in for.
We went up to like outer space at one point. Like we went to like the 5th floor of Imagine, even though there's only 2 floors on there. But
that's literally what it felt like. We wouldn't have found it either if those 2 girls hadn't told us like, hey, the theater 12 is like upstairs, like this imaginary room. You were judging me about being picky about the seats.
Yeah.
But it matters. It definitely matters. We actually ended up getting some good ones, but they let you choose your seat, and I was like I was asking like a lot of questions about it, but I just wanted to make sure that we had the perfect viewing experience.
Time out.
All right, we're back. We had to get Emmy some new headphones.
No, I already.
Uh-oh. You good?
Oh, that might have been how it happened before.
Are you
Listen
good now?
up. Yeah, I'm good.
All
Sorry.
right, perfect. All right, so yeah, sat in the wrong theater for a second. Got to the right one. You were judging me about being picky for the seats, and you know those seats. What I really like about Imagine is those seats go back again from someone who goes to the theater like every single week. They go back like an additional like 15% than like or 15 degrees than like other theaters. I mean, you're like laying down up in there, so I was very comfortable. And the theater was packed. Like the theater was packed. And
I know,
like
the first theater we went
it.
into, there were like 2 other people in there, like in the way back, and we're like, there's no, because like when we were signing up for our tickets, like, you can like see what seats are taken and what, you know, what's available, and so we went in there and there were 2 people and we're like, oh, like, where the hell is everyone, you know, like, we like barely even like we had like a very tight squeeze in here, and then there was no one in there, and so then we went to the next one and it was lit up with smiling faces.
It lit up.
Ready to rock and roll.
It was crazy how many people were. I was definitely shocked. So the movie was like I said, it was very like satirical, and like playing off of and making fun of like a lot of the romance movie stereotypes. This is kind of Fat Amy's version of, if you've seen Amy Schumer's movie Trainwreck.
Oh, I hate that movie. I
What?
hate
What?
that movie.
I love Trainwreck.
I hate Amy
Not
Schumer.
Okay,
I hate Amy Schumer.
Really?
I'm anti-Amy. I don't think she's funny. I think she's like really, you know those like kind of actresses or just people in your life that like you meet them and you just either don't vibe with them or they're just kind of like a turn off.
Yeah.
She's like one word to describe her as turn off. I just think she's gross.
See,
and I know that's incredibly harsh, but I feel like I speak the truth. And I think people would agree with me.
She's definitely a polarizing like comic / actress. Like, I don't know if you call her actress, but really just a comedian. I love Amy Schumer. Like, I love everything Amy Schumer does. I think she's like hilarious. So I am shocked that you don't like her.
I'm kind of shocked too, because like I said, it doesn't take a lot to make me funny.
That's the.
I'm only basing off Trainwreck though. Like I don't really know her in anything else, so like I just thought the movie was kind of dumb. But maybe I need to give it another try because it's kind of like.
That's a very good peek into who she is. So if you didn't like her in that, like you probably won't like her in anything
But this
else.
was like in college. Like maybe I was gonna say my humor maybe changed, but it totally hasn't.
No.
But you know, like when you like I don't know, like your taste buds adjust. Like you don't like a food or like an ingredient in something, and then a couple of years later, like you just.
She
like,
has a special on Netflix that came out like a year and a half, 2 years ago. So maybe check it out. I don't know. It's not, at least if it's on Netflix, it's not a huge investment because if you're like, okay, this is whack, you can just turn it off. But anyway, I do like Amy Schumer. This was, like I said, I feel like Fat Amy's version of that, where, and the comparison I'm making is someone who's kind of like against love, and then you know ends up finding love, and then also where it's almost like their stand up, like it's like their stand up, and then like supporting characters around them, but it's really just like focused on them. That's what I felt like. And it's a similar premise in a lot of ways to this movie called They Came Together, which I thought was a Netflix original because it was on Netflix initially. And now it's not. I think you can watch it on like Amazon or something like that. It's really funny with Amy Poehler and Paul Rudd. So it's similar to that because that movie, like the entire, but from the start, like it's just making fun of romantic films. So kind of similar to that. So the casting for this, I was looking at them, and you know, there's some, like I said, there's some pretty like C-list actors in here, like pretty good, like big names, like Liam Hemsworth, like
he literally came out of nowhere, man.
Yeah,
like, I'm telling you, the first scene he was in there, I like almost spit out my water because it was just so like I didn't even really fully, I guess, digest that he was in the movie, and then as soon as he's right front and center there, I was like, oh baby, here we go. Like I totally forgot he was even in it.
I didn't know
he was funny too. Like I've never really seen that side of him, so he was good.
He definitely did a good job. And then you have Priyanka, like I said, she's in it. So and she's like getting some fame, and you know you're hearing her name. I think more because of like her marrying Nick Jonas. Did you know they were married?
I did not know that.
What?
I really didn't even know who she was.
Okay,
honestly, before this movie.
So they just got married. So
wow,
so
she's a snack. She's
beautiful.
Snack.
She is beautiful. So
Nick Jonas married her? Did she tower him?
I literally have a note that says like how, like when in the movie I was like, how did Nick Jonas get her? I mean, obviously I've seen it before, but like
no one's awfuler than Kevin Jonas. That really awkward ass Jonas Brothers, like the oldest one with like the awkward wife, and they had that terrible reality show.
They did have a reality show, didn't they?
I don't know. It was like.
Are you a Jonas Brothers fan, or were you? At any
back
point?
in the day, yeah. Of course I was. Everyone was, but I feel like they fell off the face of the earth. But I always thought Joe was hot. I always thought Nick was pretty cute, but Who did Nick date? It wasn't Selena Gomez. It was like someone.
I don't remember. You're right. Did one of them date Hillary Duff at one point? I don't know. That just seems like a pairing that would happen. I don't know if it ever did. I didn't follow the Jonas Brothers closely. I didn't not like them. They just weren't like they weren't for me. They weren't making music for me, and it wasn't for me. So, but Nick, I was very confused over the last like couple years where like Nick came out with that photo shoot and he had like a shirt off and he had done like 5 push-ups or something like that. So like now he had like some definition of his muscle. Yeah, and like everyone was like, oh my god, Nick Jonas, like he's hot now, and I'm like, what? And I just was like,
he's like a baby child.
I was like, is this really like this is what girls like? They like this guy like Nick Jonas, like really? Like,
but that's the thing is like he's like kind of the baby dinosaur of the Jonas Brothers, but he's not like
baby
ugly
dinosaur.
and he's not awkward. Like Kevin is both. I'm sorry, he is. He's ugly and he's awkward. Like Fat Amy in this movie, she's fat and she's funny, and that's what Fat Amy is known as. Like. That's
Kevin's
and she
known as
delivered
ugly
a
and
book.
awkward.
And Kevin just sucks. I'm sorry. Oh, did I unrecord? Oh, can you hear me? Are you good?
You're back.
Yeah. So I don't know. I've never been a Kevin fan. Joe and Nick, those were the 2 OG Jonas Brothers, and then Kevin was kind of just there.
I don't know. I don't know how he got her. Very confused that. I see some actors and actresses who are in these movies. I feel really bad for big name actors and actresses who then go on to like network TV. Like I don't know why it's always crime shows too. Like I'll see like really big name actors and it's like I haven't seen them in a while, and then I'll look and they're like on like NCIS as like a regular, and I'm like, oh, like,
I would
has
never
it gotten
know
to that point? Like you come on, you had some good times. But this movie, it was. I'm trying to think if it was what I was expecting. Somewhat. It was somewhat what I was expecting. It definitely had some funny parts. It had some parts in there where I was audibly some Kevin.
Kevin's off. It's not Kevin from the Jonas Brothers. Just so you know.
I was doing like the giggle. I mean, you were definitely, you and the guy on the other side of you were definitely.
You had like the hood up at one point doing the like Kevin like chubby laugh. I
did.
I was just like,
I did have
like 2 extremes going on next to you now. I don't know if he thinks it's funny or if he's not.
Yeah, no, I laughed, but my laugh was definitely very subtle. But there was times where I just had to like.
You were trying to stay neutral. That's fair.
I was trying to stay neutral, and I knew we couldn't. I know.
One rule I made it very obvious that I thought it was funny from the start.
Yeah, no, it was some funny parts like like I said, when she goes to Subway, when she gets hit and then loses her memory, goes into this other world where it's like a romance movie, whatever. It starts right. She's getting mugged in the subway, and when the guy acts like he's hitting on her, and then he actually hits her and robs her. When he punched her in the stomach, I lost it. I was like,
I know, it was so funny. She was like, "Why does this always happen to me?" Like her British voice. And, oh my god, it was so funny.
I was dying. So like that was funny.
And it's sad because like that's I was gonna say that's essentially what happened to Nicole and I in Chicago, but it's not at all. Like nothing even near it. Like we didn't even like actually see our robbers. So like that's actually a horrific comparison. But it's just funny because I can somewhat relate to Fatty in that aspect. Like she just had bad luck, and girls can fall for that shit. It's scary. Like that can actually, it's scary that people are capable of that, especially on public transit. It's like almost kind of hitting home for me because it was in, Chicago has trains and it had a door at a train station. That's pretty much the only reason.
Yeah, I mean, honestly though, the L, like there you see some crazy stuff on the L and at the stations. Like I've
people
seen some
screaming like
I've seen
bloody murder all the time.
I mean, like I've seen someone who left poop on the train and covered it with a newspaper.
And that's nothing too. Like that's like a good day, honestly, on the train.
Right.
There's
it's you see some crazy things. I mean, you see some crazy things. I'm not gonna go down.
There are things that have been shouted that I know.
Oh
that,
yeah.
I don't know. I know that there's no like bleeps in this podcast.
Yeah. So whatever you say.
I'll let you edit away, but I don't know. I really can't even like think of like a good example right now, but I just know a lot of times I wasn't even a train girl. I wasn't even cool enough for the train. I was on the bus because I had to go straight down Clark Street for all my Chicago peeps that know what I'm talking about. I was like a 35-minute commute down Clark Street because that shit goes on forever. So then I would get off Clark Street, have like my 20-minute walk. It would take me like 2.5 hours to get to work every morning. A little dramatic, but barely. But there would just be howling people on the bus. Yeah, I was on the bus. There was never a seat. I was always standing. There were smelly people. There were hairy people. Especially that bar at the top that you have to hold on to. There would be like hairy, sweaty armpits in my face. talk about the meat sweats. I mean, that shit is gross.
Oh my gosh, yeah, in the
On
morning.
the bus in the morning.
I used to skip. I would wait. If it was too packed, I remember waiting one time. I waited for 5 trains to pass, and you know they could be like 5, 10, 15 minutes apart. I waited for 5 to pass. I refused to get on there.
Where you could
like,
see the sweaty gorilla people. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like people are making out. People are giving handies. People are
Handies.
shouting. People are eating. Like. Or
yeah, I was saying, don't you dare
people
pull out.
People are doing everything on there.
Yeah,
So
it is crazy. Full life cycle on there. But they had so one of the things that they made fun of for romance movies is the lead actress having a gay best friend. So they had a guy in there that was just being like completely like over the top, flamboyant, really poking fun at how gay people are not predicted. What am I trying to say?
Stereotyped.
Yeah,
in
but
a way.
no, but what is the word I'm looking for? Are portrayed. Sorry, are portrayed
Yeah.
in romance movies. So like he had a couple quotes that had me dying. Like he was like, "Pop a tic tac and move it." And again, context is everything. But if you were to see it, like when he said that,
Yeah,
it was like the
totally
timing. They rode in on a Vespa into the city, like and obviously she had an actual
you
car
laughed at this part.
in her real life, but in her
Fantasy
like
world,
romance
yeah.
fantasy world. They rode in on a Vespa, and it just was hilarious. And they're on the bridge on the Vespa. Like I was dying. Like what are they doing? Did you ever have a moped in college?
I didn't. No, I didn't. I would always just kind of risk the parking ticket thing because, like, as a
that is risky.
student athlete, I had like the parking pass at the stadium,
Oh,
which was
okay.
pretty cool. But
Big time.
yeah, but still had to walk everywhere from there, so it was
Did
kind
you
of
just
like
say,
my
hey,
central
I'm
parking
Emmy
spot.
Virkus? Did you actually have a pass?
I was like, I am the Emmy Virkus.
Yeah.
Let me in now. No, I had. Oh, hello. There's crowd number 5 waving to us. and
Hey,
smiling.
turn up.
Wow, let's go. So no, I had the parking pass just like every other person. I could have easily been literally like anyone could do it. They just use your friend's parking pass. It's on a sports team. I don't know. I had it. It's still on my car. It's like 5,000 years expired, obviously. But have that. They look at it. They make sure it's legit, and they let you in. And there's not much more coolness to it other than that. So
I had a moped. Fun fact: it's still. I check every single time I go back to East Lansing. It like broke down, like whatever, had some issues with it. It's still locked up outside of case to this day.
that's really insane.
It's been there for when did I lock that? It's been there for 5 years now. Same spot.
Yeah, I mean, I tried being a good girl freshman year. I mean, I guess like I couldn't really have my car anyways. I'm from the East Lansing area, so like maybe I could have, but it would have been dumb because I was in the dorm. So what am I gonna do with my car? But anyways, I had a bike, and I think like a week or 2 into having my bike, something dumb happened. Like I don't even think the full thing got stolen. I think they stole like the seat, or they put the seat like they did something to it, and I was like, I don't even care. Just take the entire fucking bike. Like I don't even use this bike anyway.
Yeah,
I'll just
don't
walk.
take it, please. Like don't insult me.
It was dumb, but what I was gonna say is that yeah, like having that pass was nice for when I could like park centrally and just kind of like walk places. But most of the time I was at Com Arts because advertising. But I was
Were you
there.
advertising?
It wasn't advertising.
Okay.
Advertising
I was too.
McDicks, duh.
Were you,
That's what I'm doing.
were you your account or management side?
I'm in the management side. I tried creative for 2 days and that shit did not fly with me. I cannot draw or graphic design.
I couldn't
for
either.
shit.
I was on the creative side, and I would
I didn't
whenever
even
we
know
had
what I was
like
doing.
days, it was literally like show and tell where you bring what you did, and like everyone would walk around and critique what you did, and I'm like, I hated those
Oh
days.
my god, I can't draw, I can't paint, like there's, and not that you like really need to, it's not like you're like doing like,
Yeah. Well, some of them did. Like
pottery,
some of those
but-
classes, like they had me like, I mean, they had us literally like drawing or like you bust like crayons out, and I'm like, all right, like, and obviously
bust
like
the crayons.
you just see
only
the-
Crayola, man.
There's like 3 tiers. Like it's like the people who are like, okay, you were born to do this, and like you do this for fun, like
Yeah.
outside of class. Then you have the people who are like, okay, you might not have like that much creativity, but you work hard
like a
in
dumbed
class,
down
so you're gonna
pyramid.
you're gonna do a good job, but we can see that you clearly don't have like a natural talent.
Yeah.
And the people who like me, where it's like you're decent, like you have some good ideas sometimes, but you don't put any effort in.
Yeah.
And it shows.
Yeah,
Like,
I remember taking that exact test. I was in office hours or not even office hours. I met with like some sort of mentor, or I guess like I went to some professional for help because I was like, I don't know what to do. This is a life or death thing. Do I go into management or do I go into creative? I really don't understand like what the difference is or what each are.
Right.
But I know like
it's hard
at
to
this point,
explain when you're
It is
in
kind of
college.
dumb.
Like if you're explaining it as like a counselor to a kid,
Yeah,
like, it's
because
hard.
and at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Like I probably switched my
Yeah, it
majors
doesn't matter.
8-9 different times in the communication school. You can do any like.
Literally.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, it
So,
doesn't.
anyways, yeah, I was in advertising. I had the PR minor, which is what took me to Chicago, Todd. I did have a job, so
Oh,
screw you.
yeah.
I did not just go to Chicago for you.
quote unquote. So Bree had a moped one time, right?
She did.
She had a moped. So she calls me one time and is like, my moped's broke. Like, could you come over and help me fix it?
Bree and I got pulled over on mopeds once, and I got pulled over on the sidewalk on a moped another time.
It
Not
happens to the
my
best of us.
means of transportation, no.
I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll come over. So she's like, it's not starting up. It's just been like start up and like go off like the last like couple days. She's like, I just haven't ridden it like for like a week. And I was like, well, it's like a brand new moped. Like, what are you telling me you just got for Christmas?
But she couldn't turn it on.
So I go, try to start it up. I start it up. I'm like, oh, Bree, you have no gas. And she's like, wait, how do you know? How do you know I don't have any gas? I said, there's a dial that has like the gas, like it's on E. She's like, oh my god.
Breezy,
so I was like,
baby.
okay, we could probably get it, like at least get it on just to get around the corner because you all were in Wonders.
Oh
And
my
it was
God. Oh yeah,
like,
you could literally walk to that gas
yeah,
station
so I was like,
on
all right,
Trowbridge.
we'll just go over there. So she's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, thank you so much, like for helping me. Like I owe you dinner. I'm like, Bree, no, like literally we just went over and filled our gas tank.
You
up.
cracked the ultimate code.
I was like, Bree, just from now on, when this dial goes down to E, you have to fill it up.
Yeah,
Like,
easy enough.
so easy. I was like,
Well,
what? She's like, I'm
good
like,
for me.
yeah. So I was cracking up when that happened.
That's
The
not
portrait
shocking.
of her and Fat Amy's dog when she had an enrollment.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
Todd!
like
that
the
did I
fantasy.
not like? I think
You-
I had
you
tears
lost it.
swelling.
You
I
lost
lost
it.
my mind. It was not even a funny part. It was like a very normal part for this stupid movie. Well, it was funny because they zoom in on her at like her really shitty desk. So like, I don't know if you explained this part, but she is a architect, right?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. So like the whole premise, I guess, is that Liam Hemsworth is the client, I guess you could call him, and he needs a parking garage designed for their hotel, I think.
Right.
And so Fat Amy is kind of overshadowed by her talents because she's really good at what she does, but I don't know, she's like doing shitty intern work essentially. Like she's getting people coffee and she's fixing, computers that are crashing, and like no one's really doing their job around this office. So it's kind of dumb and pointless for her to be there. But she has this like big old presentation that they keep hyping up through the entire movie that she needs to prepare for to Liam Hemsworth, which before she falls into this like fantasy world, he's just like this asshole to her. He's like, my coffee
Right.
sucks, go get me coffee. And then he's like ultimately in love with her, and that's like a whole different part of the movie. But that happened in the fantasy part. So then anyways, towards the very end, she is trying to like explain to him like why she wants to design the parking garage the way she does, and it's kind of like this cool like analogy, I guess, like it's like a metaphor toward like I believe she like refers to it as like a glass wall. She's like, when you can see through the wall, it like opens things up, and like when you're so closed off and like dark and like no one really pays attention to you. She was referring to herself before she
Right.
like fell in love in this fantasy world, but then like when you open things up and like make it a little brighter and more noticeable and like allow it to like I guess like shine through,
Right.
it's a lot more like meaningful to the world. So she was like kind of like it was like a parking garage. Did you pick up on that too? It was like a parking garage comparison to like her
Yeah,
from
to
the beginning
her.
of the movie to the end of the
Yeah.
movie.
No,
Like,
I
she had
did,
a lot
yeah.
more confidence.
No, I got it. Yeah, no, they were. Yeah, she was playing that up.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess how like I would have a lot of confidence if Liam Hemsworth wanted to jump my bones too throughout the entire
Right.
movie, because
Right.
that was like 80% of the movie, and Fat Amy was just not really for it. Because then she realizes I'm like giving away the whole movie, but she like
No, you can
realizes
tell-
she
you can
falls in
tell the
love
movie.
with Adam Devine.
Yeah,
and
the Josh guy in the movie.
the
yeah.
Josh guy in the movie.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that they had to make that a little bit more realistic,
Yeah.
because it was like,
Todd!
and then he's like with he's with Priyanka, so like
Oh,
so
yeah.
the Josh guy in the fantasy world, the guy that the dweeby guy she works with who has always loved her but she's overlooked him, best
Mhm.
friend type of deal. In the fantasy world, he starts dating Priyanka and she starts dating Liam Hemsworth, who are both like very good looking people. And it like doesn't make sense like why they date them. But anyway,
Crowd number 7.
that is we have a huge.
I'm a
following this time.
showstopper, man.
It has to be, like I said, the good thing I told you about the glasses. If
The
you had the
glasses,
glasses
I
on,
know.
people would have been.
I really do feel
Scared.
kind of like smarter and more sophisticated in these.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine if I walked in like a tuxedo, like ready for this podcast? Because naturally that's what you wear to like
A
an
business
interview.
suit?
Obviously, that's what I would do.
But yeah, it just it just didn't the pairing off didn't make sense. Priyanka in the movie, she's a yoga ambassador and like social media
Yeah.
influencer. Question: would you ever, if you felt like you can make it, would you ever put like all your energy in just being an influencer?
That's a tough question, because this is the thing. Is like, yeah, like obviously social media is huge right now,
Right.
and that's what leverages these influencers. Like their entire business is on Instagram or on, you know, whatever other platform they're using at the time. But that's just scary because, you know, I know people that just from like, I don't know, I follow a lot of influencers, whether it's like cooking or hot girls or whatever it is, but I follow people that, you know, like post some kind of like, I guess, controversial things in a way, like not necessarily about like politics or anything like that, but like things that like could be offensive to people. And like obviously you have like the reporting option on Instagram, and so like you could be like 1 or 5 or whatever reports away from getting your entire account shut down. So then what? So then like what are you basing your business off, and like how are you getting your name out there? So like like I can't sit here and say I wouldn't, because that would be a lie. Like if I was cool, saying not cool enough on Instagram, Todd, first one will offend you.
I was that's why I asked because
I'm very
I do think
very
you're
stagnant.
very cool on
very
Instagram.
average. I'm very average. No,
maybe
I'm not nearly.
I don't know if non-blasphemy can make it out there.
my next post, I'm gonna wear these. I'm gonna see if that makes a difference. I've been pretty lame these past couple of years.
You know, I asked because obviously it's easier to be a girl and become an influencer. I feel like with a guy you have to be like either like you have to be like a unicorn, like in terms
you do have
of
to
like,
be a unicorn. That is very average, especially with that horn, man. If you know what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh, I might edit that out just for your
sick.
sake. That was sick.
That was disgusting.
Yeah, that might get edited out just for your sake, just so that you don't get made fun of. No, with a guy, like I feel like what's the best route to like either being just like, because you have to think where are the different levels of influencers, like people who just look really good, whether that's fitness or food,
just like
people who or accounts that aren't about like the person, like you're not following the person, it's more like a complex. We're posting like relevant like pop culture stuff, meme accounts. I'm just thinking like the most popular accounts.
Or just like artsy shit, like
artsy,
quotes
I would say cooking, like
aesthetic,
so stuff like that. So it's like to be a guy, and if you're marketing as like just yourself, not a product or a brand, then like how do they get a ton of followers and without like a bigger lift? So if you put like invest more into it up front, like if I like put a whole bunch of marketing dollars into like, you know, promoting my stuff, then like naturally, but like if you're a girl and you're pretty cute, like if you're pretty cute and you're taking pictures in bikinis like all the time, like you're gonna get like a lot more followers than me if I'm just like posting like, hey, I'm podcasting this week.
And this is the other thing is like like everyone likes to like look and feel good, especially for pics, and like get that good gram every once in a while, but like at the end of the day I don't think and this is just my personal opinion, like of course I'm jealous of like models and influencers and stuff that are like so skinny and hot and great, but like I don't think I could personally build my brand or my career off of my look, because like I can't have like a quarter pounder that day and I'm gonna be like worried I look bloated for like my next photo shoot, or like I'm gonna be worried that like people don't like me as much, or that I'm gonna like lose followers. It's just like that's just like not my personality to like base something off. Like I don't know. I mean, you're also talking to the girl that had to get braces for a hot minute senior year and was perfectly. Do you remember that? Talk about a beefcake. That, like, I was literally fat Amy my senior year of college.
I'm
slapped some brackets on that girl, and that was me. No, guess what? You won't find any pictures. I did.
No.
I got ballsy for a second. I posted a graduation photo with the brackets on, and then I was like, what am I on?
You deleted all your pictures of braces?
No, I bet you could. Well, they're all very soft smiley pics. Like, I mastered the soft smile it was a quick phase, people. It was like 4 or 5 months. So, like, we're talking, like, when did I get them? It was like January to May.
I do remember
I started my job in Chicago with brackets, and then I had to take a day off to get the brackets removed. So that was, you know, like a big deal in itself. But
here's a soft smile.
Yeah, there are a lot of soft smile. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one with a caption that says I have braces. And, yep, that one. There you go. You knew exactly what you're going for.
I knew.
Yeah. So, anyways, I mean, I don't know.
It's a week, Emmy.
I know a lot of people. I know. I pull kind of like the pity card on that a lot whenever this topic comes up, because it's just like a very sensitive topic. But it was completely my decision to do it again. Yeah. I had braces at a normal time, just like the 6th to 8th grade time.
Right.
I think like maybe a little into high school, whatever. Didn't wear my retainers. Fully deserved to have crooked teeth after that. It looked like I chewed on rocks, and from there I was like, I want to correct my teeth. Like, that's something that I should do early on. I should just knock it out, get it over with. I thought I was gonna get Invisalign, and even my ortho was like, no, like they're too far gone. Like that you can't get Invisalign for these, and like I personally don't agree with them. Not that I'm like a tooth master, but I was like, look, like I feel like they're not that bad.
Please put that on your resume.
But that was official tooth master. But yeah, it was it was rough, but we got through it. Teeth are
proud of you. I mean,
not always pearly white, but they're straight AF.
They're straight now.
They're not going to get any straighter. So take it or leave it, fam.
For all the people out there who are contemplating getting braces as adults,
call me at my hotline, and I will talk you awful.
I feel like I remember making fun of you behind your back for having braces.
You know what? At least you're honest about it. I'm sure a lot of people, especially people I follow, did as well. But you gotta just work it. I can't remember the specific
conversation, but I do. I feel like I vaguely remember.
This is why we're friends, because like you're so like you're not bullshitting here now. Like you're not telling me I looked good in braces. I know, God forbid, you didn't even tell me I looked good without braces today. So
you looked great with braces, Emmy. You worked them. But it still was just...
It's not like I had, like, rubber bands, like the lime green rubber bands you were doing in middle school. Like, come on.
Yeah, no, I mean...
They were clear. Didn't make a lot of a difference.
It wasn't... And here's the thing. The jokes wouldn't have been... Like, again, I really can't remember specifically, but the jokes wouldn't have been...
You can't remember.
It wouldn't have been, oh, Emmy looks like a fool in braces. It's more like, oh, no, she still looks good. It's just... It's funny that she has braces as an adult. That's
the nicest thing you've ever said to me. That's not even that nice.
Yeah, right? You're only getting like a half of the compliment.
I know, I'll take it. I'll take what I can, Dad.
But yeah, no. So this movie, like, when back to the movie that I forget what we were talking about. They're making fun of so many different things in rom-coms, and as I'm watching, I'm like, wow, I actually love all those things in rom-coms because I love rom-coms. So it's like they're making fun of it, and I'm like, no, like I like that. Like I like that they're cheesy. I like that. Like you know what's gonna happen. It's the typical layout. Some of the stuff I'm like, yeah, that is kind of cheesy and predictable in rom-coms. But again, I like that. Like I can watch the same movies like over and over, so I don't really get tired of a similar layout. You want to see a happy ending. You want to see the couple fall in love and find each other again when they have a big fight. They come back to each other. Like I like seeing that.
Yeah.
So I don't get annoyed by and I also like stuff with a lot of suspense in it too. Like I'm about to go home and watch True Detective season 2. I just finished season 1. So.
Is that on Netflix? No, I haven't.
It's on HBO.
Oh, okay.
Season 3 is what's like hot right now because it's currently coming out with episodes with Mahershala Ali, which I do want to see. That the reason that I went back and started watching is because of all the hype around this season. So the first season was amazing, so I'm excited.
I think I need to expand my horizons more to detective stuff and like I know I'm never going to be in like the action superhero like car crashing gun shooting shit. Like I hate that shit so much.
We'll watch season 3 of True Detective.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe
each season's a different cast and story, so you don't have to like watch the previous ones. I'm just doing it just because it's a good show and it's something to do. But when I finish season 2, we'll watch season 3
back.
together.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. Cool.
So yeah, so like I said, it was a lot. It's silly humor. This movie is really silly humor. It was all right. It was I know Amy had, or not Amy.
Oh God! Are you calling me fat Amy? Because we talked about the braces. Damn it, Todd.
I know Emmy. I know braces. Emmy.
Oh God.
Really enjoyed it. She was getting weak.
Well, I packed on the pounds and had braces. That's why I keep referring to myself as fat Amy during that time. It was like a big beefcake.
I'm going to change your name on my phone. When there was a point in the movie when she realized that Liam Hemsworth wasn't the one. He made mention of like because he's like the rich like playboy and for whatever reason he wants fat Amy. He mentions to her that if they are going to be together, that she's gonna have to change her name to something like more palatable.
What was it? It was I could give me a sec. I can think of it. I can't think of it. It was so stupid though. It was such an ugly name.
Is there a guy? I mean, maybe even Liam Hemsworth that
I would change my name.
You would change your name for?
You know what? Like. Every time, it's actually kind of sad because I kind of have to change my name sometimes. So, like, I go by Emmy, as you know. Like, you were freaking, like, so floored by the fact my name was Emily.
I was shook.
So, every single time I, like, order something at Starbucks or I have to use my name in some sort of, like, quick, one-off situation, I will either make up a name or I'll say Emily. And I think that's really sad because I don't go by Emily. Sometimes I'll say just like the first thing that comes to mind. So like I said, my alter ego in work was Emily. Like at the bar, it's Alexa. When I like don't want to give my guys my real name, I just say my name's Alexa. That's like kind of the go-to for that. But I don't know. Like people think I say Abby. People think I say Ebby, as if it's like this like people look at me like I tell them my name is like Aladdin or something completely random.
Aladdin.
Like I have
That's
this foreign ass
hilarious.
name, and like it's just like it's a knockoff of Emily. It's my nickname. It's always been my nickname. My entire life I've gone by Emmy.
Well,
Entire life. So to answer your question, would I change my name? No, absolutely
I
fucking
bet
not.
if
I
you
would
would
have
have
known
said
by
yes, I would
now.
have been like, out of the guy.
No.
So like, with all that being said, yes, I would absolutely.
Because I would
say
at that point, like
Yeah.
if I loved a guy enough where he really fucking hated the name Emmy, I would just go by Emily. Be like, all right, fine, call me my other name, Emily. That's on my resume. That's on my birth certificate. Like I don't know what else to tell you. Like
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm very particular about names and like, cause I'm particular about my name and like what people call me. So like, I even get annoyed. Fun fact, like I don't know, it's like a very small like detail, but when people lowercase your name even in text, I don't like when people lowercase names.
That lower, I know you know what I'm talking about. When like everyone's going through like the phase right now where nothing is uppercase, like not even the first letter of a word.
It's like you're not
everything's
Ariana
lowercase.
Grande. You can't lowercase everything.
Oh, I know, dude. I have never been
Or
cool enough to
Billie
do
Eilish,
that.
I guess
Like
you did
even
first.
captions, like I and like sometimes I do. Like if it's just kind of like a spell check thing when I'm texting someone, fine. But like I don't go out of my way to unuppercase something.
Right. Yeah. No, I
And
hate
people
that.
are doing that.
I don't like when
Everyone's
people
doing that.
lowercase names. And again, start a sentence. I need that uppercase.
It's
Like,
grammatically incorrect.
yes. Like if you're gonna have multiple thoughts, like me, I'll write text messages how I haven't always, but obviously like in like junior high, I'd like go out of my way to like abbreviate stuff just because like that was texting culture then. But like now, like I write text like how I actually talk to people,
Right.
and it just looks like with correct words
Wow.
and grammar and punctuation. Emmy, I know you don't use punctuation because you'll just send like back-to-back thoughts. Like you'll
I
send,
know.
like,
I am really bad about that.
like
I can't just wrap
eight
it all.
notifications. I'm like, what? I'm
I'll
like,
be
what
like-
is she hurt? And it's like, oh no, it's just one sentence broken up into 8 different
I know.
sections.
I do need to get better about that. I've had a lot of people complain to me about the broken up messages because it is all stuff that I could
A lot of
probably
girls text like that.
shorten. Yeah, I just I'm
A
an
lot of girls
ADD
text
girl.
like that.
I gotta just like
Yeah.
express my true feelings as they come.
Yep.
And
No, that's
sometimes
fair.
it's not all at once.
I like take time to like gather my thoughts personally, but you know, whatever floats your boat, Emmy.
The boat is floating with that shit, Todd.
Okay, so what would you give this movie? Scale of 1 to 10. Feel free to use
Decimals.
yeah.
Are we rounded? Okay, so decimals.
Wait.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Are we rounded? I think, and this is the thing. It's like Todd was saying, like you have to have a really special sense of humor. Like you have to go into this movie with a very open mind because I know a lot of people, honestly, like personal people to my life that would not think this movie was funny. Like
Right.
they would think it was really fucking stupid, and I would not disagree with them because it was. But
Right.
I personally, if you have a personality like mine where you just laugh at like the drop of a needle, I don't even know if that's like the saying.
Drop of a needle.
If you laugh at like, I don't know. So like the very opening scene, I'm just gonna get off topic really quick. Like in Todd's little thing at the beginning, it's like the podcast that gets off topic sometimes. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. The very opening scene of this movie was Fat Amy as like a fat 6-year-old version of herself. So fat 6-year-old Amy just smiling, and her entire fat face was taking up the entire screen. Like there was no empty space. There was nothing else. It was literally just her fat face smiling. And like you knew nothing else. You did not know what was going to happen next. It was just her smiling. And I laughed. I was like, that's all I needed to laugh. Like it was the very opening thing of the movie. So if you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. She's watching a, rom-com, whatever, and her mom comes in and shits on her life and basically says like, that doesn't exist, Amy. Like her name's Natalie. Doesn't exist. We're just still call her Amy. Like,
Still call her Fat Amy, yeah.
Whatever. But anyways, getting back to the point.
Yes.
So if you have a humor like mine and you think everything is funny, you would probably agree with me. I would give this movie a solid, like a hard 8.5.
It's high. That is high.
It's really high. It might be a little too generous, but like, I don't know. I think like other kind of influencing factors affects that as well. Like I was in a really good mood, so I just thought, especially everything was funny.
Right.
Just depends.
We didn't get popcorn though. So
We didn't. I was gonna say like maybe popcorn.
Mood, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we did not get popcorn. We did not get slushies. I dropped the ball on that one, but yeah,
no, I
8.5.
regret that decision. I give it a 5.9.
No, yours was gonna suck. God damn it, Todd! It was better than a 5.9. Oh.
I didn't hate it. I did not hate it. As my rating might not reflect that, I didn't hate the movie. It just, as a movie,
Did
like
not
as a
speak to you
good
as well as
film,
me.
like I can't call it a good film, even though I didn't not like it. I don't know how to put that, but I did not like it. On a scale, so I have like different categories I created because I was like, how do I like it's a good way to categorize
Right,
movie because
yeah.
I like having like the rating and then also having like a different. So would I go see it opening night? Would I tell someone to go see it on $5 Tuesday at a reduced price?
So I'll answer these as
Would
you
I
ask
tell them
So
to go watch on Netflix, or would I tell them to not watch it at all?
the first two are a no for me, and the second two are a yes. Or
Wait, it's only when you can't not watch and watch on Netflix. So would
sorry,
Well,
I would
you-
tell
you
someone to watch on
too.
Netflix. I would not tell someone to see it on opening night.
Yeah,
and
yeah, okay,
I
gotcha. I follow. Same. That's what I had. I would tell someone, hey, wait till it comes on Netflix. I wouldn't tell someone to go pay money for it again, but not waste your time. Like there's some movies where I'm like, hey, like don't even waste your time watching it, like even on TV. This one is a cool like whatever. You're chilling like at the house, Netflix. Hey, why not? Nothing else to
Good
watch.
date night movie.
It's a good, yeah, exactly. It's a good date night movie. So, so I would say Netflix, but not awful. I do like her. It is very silly humor, but there are some really there are parts that I feel like no matter who you are, you're gonna laugh. Like I know one part when they're dancing in the bar.
Oh
And the
my
bartender
God.
starts
Best
like
scene.
he like suddenly is like dancing, like he's just going nuts in the
But like
background.
bananas in the background, not just like subtly
part
dancing.
was-
Like he was like doing the straight up. I don't even know what.
I don't know what
dance
he was
is.
doing. Like I'm not gonna recreate it because I'm just like an idiot, but it was really funny. Like that part was really funny.
was
So
so
yeah,
funny.
again, if you're gonna watch, I'd say maybe wait till it comes out on Netflix. All right, so upcoming movies. Do you have any that you're excited about?
I'm really excited for Lion King.
Okay.
I'm really
Yeah.
excited for Lion King. I
Same.
love the Toy Story movie, so I'm really excited for that.
Same.
That last Toy Story movie kind of shook me. I'm not gonna lie. That
Sure.
especially hit home with
I
like the
just
movie to
rewatched
college,
that.
and
Yeah.
oh my god, that one. I had such the feels during that. That was
Yeah.
rough to
That
watch.
one was tough. I went to the theaters to see that twice, and it was
Oh my
rough. It was a great
God.
movie, but I was
Phenomenal movie. Phenomenal lineup always. I don't think there's one bad Toy Story movie. I love all of them.
No,
They're
there's
all
not.
so good. So
You can
I'm
make an
not worried
argument
about
for
this one.
any of them being the best one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually, when I was listening to previous podcasts of yours, we got more spoilers. Hello,
Hey, fans.
Fans already. So when I was listening to your other podcast, you mentioned, I don't remember who was on with you, but you mentioned you don't like scary movies.
Yeah.
There's a scary movie coming out soon that you don't want to see. I don't think you were planning on reviewing it with anyone. I'm trying to think. Happy Death Day 2.
Yeah.
Is that the second one or the first one?
I don't know.
I think
Happy
it's the
Death
first
Day
one, but
2,
I feel like
think
it's
the
been.
first one.
I was
the
gonna
two's
say.
in there, so it makes you think like is this a sequel? But I don't know.
You know
if
what's
it is.
funny is I feel like I've seen fucking commercials for this for the last like year and a half of my life, and
Really?
it's still So I actually didn't know if it was the second one because I never saw the first. And
I don't know.
I just
If
kind
it
of
is
forgot
not,
about it.
I don't keep up with horror enough.
It looks kind of funny. Like it looks like a funny, scary movie, but I don't know enough about it to really know for sure. But I've always wanted to see that. And then there's this one other scary movie. I don't know the name of it, but it's been recently advertised. It looks good. It's about a family, and they have clones of the family
Us?
Us.
Yeah,
Yes, I
I
really
actually,
wanna
I think
see
I am
Us.
going to review that. I think
Yeah,
I am going to.
that'll be a good
Us.
one.
Just because it's a Jordan Peele film, and he got so much acclaim for Get Out.
Yeah.
So
That'll be good.
that's why I want to talk about it because I know he's going to put a lot of like different like metaphors and different meanings in there.
Right.
Symbolism, a lot of symbolism. In
I would
there,
go
so
with you to
that's
see
why-
it. I probably won't be reviewing it with you, Avi, because I'm here. But
Just because it's so
I would go.
quick. Yeah, I mean, we'll have you up again at some point, but just 'cause it's such a quick turnaround. But I do have to find it, I guess, for us.
I would go see it just to go see it.
I'll let you know when I go see it. We'll
I'll
go
be
see
your
it.
guest in the theater
Yeah, in theater guest.
for us.
Well, that's it, Emmy. Did you have any closing thoughts or remarks?
Todd, it's been a pleasure. This has been fun.
Well, thank you for coming up. I appreciate you coming up. Appreciate you wearing your glasses.
Thank you.
And
you know what? You should get some. I'm telling you, Amazon. So
I thought about
He'll
it.
put the link at the end of this.
Yeah, yeah, it's Emmy's glasses.
As always.
Thank you all for
Influence race.
listening. Until next time.